So already you are getting some tidbits on how these matches are going to play out, and already you can tell that these will be very interesting matches. So we will delve right into it and then go in for the in-depth analysis where our pundits will bring us, all the information based on tactics, key players, and what the teams possess that will give them the edge into qualifying into the semi-finals and even progress to the finals. So moving on from there, we'll be going to the other fixture, which will be between Arsenal and Bayern Munich. Charlie, this one is also a very big one. We know of an Arsenal side that is, faced. How would I even put it? It's more like Bayern is the nemesis of Arsenal. They catch them and they just score them rough. Not less than 5 goals in their last fixtures. And that is a very bad history for Arsenal. If you look at the way Bayern, they scored them to Charlie, it'll be bad. But this season's Arsenal is a different Arsenal. It's been a long time Arsenal came to the Champions League. That's way back 2017. And so they're coming back into it this season. And with their current form and the free-flowing attack they have in the youngsters, we would expect a different performance, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. A very bright performance from Arsenal. Arteta has taken some time to groom his players very well.
Okay.
And now he's playing a beautiful football.
Sure.
And now he has turned Arsenal to a free-flowing scoring team that have no problem. I think Bayern has a lot to do with Arsenal forward.
Okay.
Arsenal forward are very fluid. They are skillful.
Fast.
Yes.
They have the pace.
And you can't really pinpoint who is going to score. So let me focus on this player and stop this player. Because you have Odegaard scoring, you have Havertz can score, you have Gabriel Jesus can also score,
Martinelli
can score,
trossard
is there. So you can't really pinpoint who is going to start and who is going to score. So I think Bayern have a lot to deal with, because looking at TT, with the statement coming that he's out of job during the season. I think they're out of every cup, out of the league, out of the Cup. So their only hope right now is the Champions League. And looking at what he's doing with the team, I don't see them causing out a problem to Arsenal.
Okay.
I don't see them at all coming to Emirates. I think Arsenal have a lot to deal with, or rather, the lots of problems will rather fall on Bayern Munich.
Okay.
Because Arsenal are very good now, especially at Emirates. They are very good. So I see it to be a daunting task for Bayern
Radar, yes. So when it comes to the Champions League, of course, history and experience normally count. And I don't know, maybe Bayern will be basing on the experience right now, because when you take the background story, Bayern is not having a very good season. They sit 10 points below the first Bayern Leverkusen in their league. They already are out of the the DFB Cup. And it's not been a good season for them at all. But what you have now is a Bayern team that has only the Champions League to play all out for, because that is the only thing they can really grab this season. You also have a certain Harry Kane who is coming back to England to face off, Arsenal, a team that he has always been scoring, rough. So what would you expect from them as well?
All right, so thank you very much for the question. So Arsenal playing against Bayern Munich is going to be, a very interesting match, because this season, when you look at Bayern Munich, their form, they have been on and off. That is why, as it stands right now, for their league, there's no way they can come back. Yes.
10 points.
Yes. 10 points. Unlike Arsenal, that is on top, contending for the Premier League, and with their current form, even though Arsenal don't have much experience when it comes to winning the Champions League, unlike Bayern Munich, who has, won it on several occasions. But I think Arsenal have the likes of Kai Havertz, who has won it before, and probably might bring that experience to the team, and psych the other colleagues and motivate them to go for a win against Bayern Munich. Even though with the experience of Bayern Munich players, their form has not been very productive this season. So going to Emirates, I'm seeing Arsenal to take the day with a slight win, if all things being equal, and if they take their chances. I'm tipping Arsenal to run over Bayern Munich.
So Arsenal are actually hosting the first leg of the competition, and so they will have to play the return leg in Bayern Munich. And for Munich playing at home on the second leg, that will be an advantage for Bayern Munich. If they're able to manage a draw in Emirates, then they will just go back home and do the magic there. We spoke about experience, and Arsenal has a more inexperienced team in the Champions League, and you can tell from how they really suffered to qualify even to the quarter final against Porto. They had to draw, and they have to come out through a penalty shootout. Going against Bayern. Bayern is not like Porto. Bayern is a team that has history in the Champions League. They are a very dominant side that you just can't write off. Will Arsenal have that capacity? Because we saw how they suffered against Porto. Would they have that capacity to actually come up against Bayern Munich and win in the tactical battles? Because this is not Porto we are talking about here. Even Porto, we saw how they struggled. Of course, they have a good, young talent, pacey players and all of that, but they really struggle. So coming to the likes of, Bayern Munich, where they have Gnabry and Sane and, Hurricane and, Muller and a lot of Kimmich, all of those players who have won the Champions League before, played against the top teams in the Champions League, and coupled with the fact that that is all they have left to play. Do you still think Arsenal, stand the chance? Is Arteta capable of coming out on top in this tactical battle?
Wow, nice question. I think Arteta is more than capable.
Okay.
Of meeting TT's tactics, because let's not forget TT managed Chelsea in England.
Yeah.
So faced Arteta for some time, even though TT managed to beat him, but for some time Arteta met him tactically and overtook him.
Yeah.
Now there is one thing about Thomas Tuchel. Now he overthinks sometimes, like Pep does.
Okay.
Now in their last match with Dortmund,
Mm-hmm.
how can you play Kimmich right back?
Okay.
Put Kimmich at right back.
Mm-hmm.
This is a number 6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a world-class 6 that we all know him to be. So even if there's a problem, we have other defenders down there. You have Upamecano there.
Yeah.
You can try him at that right back. And because you want a natural a person who holds the ball very well and distributes the pass very well, so you play Kimmich at 2.
Okay.
And they lost the match. 2-0.
2-0, yes.
So he's someone that overthinks. And I know Arteta that he is not that type of coach that misuses player. He's very good when he wants to use this player in a particular position. And that is what he has over TT.
Okay.
So for me, I think tactically, he has already beaten TT in that side.
Okay.
Maybe experience will count for the Bayern side. But I think looking at Jorginho being a masterclass in the midfield with Kai Havertz, they can at least bring the experience from their winning side in the Champions League to help organize this team very well. So me, I think he has that. He has already won that tactical battle over TT.
Okay, so Arsenal has the edge here, as you can see. I mean, almost all the odds are favoring them apart from experience and history. And you expect Arsenal to put up a very good performance in this one, especially with the first leg that they are playing at home, and, at the end, we expect Arsenal to come up on top, So let's come to, the key players to look out for. What are some of the key players to look out for from the Arsenal side and from the Bayern side as well?
All right, so thank you. So when we talk about the key players, currently the top scorer is Hurricane, who is playing for Bayern Munich. You have Musiala, you have the Joshua Kimmich, top class players. When you go to Arsenal side, we have Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, their captain Odegaard, and Martinelli. And Thomas Partey has not been consistent this season due to injuries, because we know him to be one of their best midfielders. Anytime he's operating from the midfield, he's capable of breaking the opponent's attack, distributing passes. But I don't know if Arteta will, because their last match he started and he played like 67 minutes. So
he has Champions League experience as well.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Playing for Atletico Madrid in the Champions League for so many times. So if probably Arteta will, start him, it will be, a good boost for the Arsenal midfield.
Yeah.
But I don't know the tactics he'll be coming into the match with. Unlike Bayern Munich, who has a lot of, the Hurricane, the Musiala, Joshua Kimmich, then the other players. So I'm expecting Arteta to line up a very threatening attack. If he can play trossard, Gabriel Jesus, then Kai to lead the attack, it will pose a lot of threats for the defense of Bayern defense. Because this season Bayern defense has not been. They are always conceiving. So if you can use these guys at the front, Odegaard, playing behind them, distributing the passes, at least he can give them a good result and a good match.
So Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal has the firing squad, and with the likes of Saka, with the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, Kai Havertz on form in the latter part of the season as well, we would expect Arsenal to produce more goals in this side. The fans are there at the Emirates to actually push their team to the semi-finals and, if possible, grab their first Champions League trophy. So there's a lot of motivation for them and a lot of inspiration for them to draw from to actually push things to the limit here to actually win. But the downside, I think, will be their as for just like Manchester City, their bid to actually win the Premier League as well. It's been like 20 years they've been able to do that, and this year promises to be that one season they can just grab it if they concentrate only on the league. Now, if they are bringing in the Champions League, then that will bring some sort of distraction. Sure. You understand? And that could also be something that will hurt them. Do you think that, it is something to worry about? It is something that Arteta should just concentrate on one, or, what do you think about that one?
I think there is no harm when he goes toe-to-toe in these two competitions, because it is the only two competitions left that they are playing. Yeah. So I think if as a team they want to be named as one of the best teams in Europe, there is no harm. City did it. They won a treble last season. So what's stopping you from me trying the Champions at the same time in the league as well? Yeah. Because hopefully for you are not really meeting big teams after the Champions League as compared to City. Yeah. City have Madrid after the semi-final. The second leg, you also have Chelsea to play the semi-final of the FA Cup. Yeah. And Pep is wondering how to fix these two matches. But for you, you've met almost your big teams, and the ones you're supposed to meet are not immediately. Okay. So what's stopping you from meeting this Bayern team that have Marinoya out, they have Rosani out, they have Mazuri out, they have Pavlovic also out. So their defense is a bit shaky at the moment. That's why he fitted in Kimmich. Yeah. So if he wants to concentrate on one, I think it will be a downside to them. Okay.
They have the men to go.
Yes, you have the men to do. Yeah. And they're a team that runs a lot. Yeah. So I'm not sure he can say that, let me consider the Champions, I want to win it. Or no, he can't do it. If only this team Arsenal wants to, they can. Okay. There's nothing like a problem to them.
All right. So Arsenal going on out for glory wouldn't be a problem for them at all. I think it's just their coach who has to be able to balance things out and then go for all glory. And I'm sure the Arsenal fans will be happy to see them land 2 trophies at the end of the season. 2 big trophies, top flight trophies, with the Champions League and the EPL. Both of them will be very happy moment for the fans in that, they've not held the EPL for the last 20 years, and with the UCL, it will be their first. So your guess is as right as mine on how they will jubilate and celebrate with those 2 trophies. But let's quickly take the score lines from our pundit here and also see which of the 2 teams is likely to progress to the semi-finals of the competition.
All right, so the first leg will be played at Emirates, and I'm tipping Arsenal to, with home advantage and the fans, I'm tipping Arsenal to, carry the day, maybe a 1-0 at Emirates, then a 0-0 at Allianz Arena.
Okay, so you are not expecting a lot of goals in this one?
No.
All right, so let's hear what Ogidi also has to say on that.
I think I'll side with my brother this time around. I think I'll go for a slim win at Emirates, either a 1-0, 2-0 win, and maybe at the Allianz Arena, maybe a 1-1 or 1-0 win for Bayern. I'm sure for the Allianz Arena, Bayern can pose a threat. Yeah. So,
wow. Right. So there we have it. Arsenal can actually win the league, qualify for the semis through the first leg by trying to win in a wide goal margin. It's rather surprising for me. Well, our pundits are saying that the game will be won on a very slim league. Because for me, I thought Arsenal should do the job in the first league so that in the second league, then the job is already done, with the fans backing you and all of that. But it is interesting. That is football, and, we shall see what happens on Tuesday. So